Hey everybody, how you doing? It's your guy, all family, coming to you today with good low tier characters. Um, let's just jump straight into it. Gorgon. Now we starting off with Gorgon because this is basically how we're gonna categorize, you know, these characters. Basically. Now Gorgon is a good character. He is definitely a low tier character, but he's a good character specifically because of his leadership. And people with attack leaderships, whether it be energy, physical, or all attack, those characters, I said people, those characters are the characters you want to go for. Those are the characters you want. Okay? To be simple. Go for any character that has an attack leadership. Okay? Those are the characters you want that's going to help expand your roster. Now, moving on to Chi. Chi is another one with an attack leadership. Now, his skills are a little lackluster, but they all have a guard break, and so that's basically like constant CC. If the character could be CC that way, and but he has pretty good damage. A lot of attacks. So building him with crit rate and the damage proc, you can't go wrong. And he doesn't have to be T2. On to Miles. Now Miles is one of my favorite characters, but he has to be T2. He definitely has to be T2. Um, I mean the passive is bananas, man. It's bananas. He has to be T2. That's really the only thing I could say. He's a very good character at that point. He really is over the top at that point. He's not somebody people would farm for, but if you're looking into a character that can do some crazy DPS, work on him. He needs an invincibility shield though. Moving on to Gwen. Gwen is surprisingly a good character. Surprisingly. Now she doesn't have to be T2, but at tier 2, she stands her ground in timeline. I mean, and for me in timeline, she's one of the recommended heroes, and she's doing really good. She's doing really good for me. So and the only reason why I got her tier 2 is so I wanted to give her a little bit more survivability. Her leadership is a little interesting, but it's situational. But that guaranteed dodge 40% is where that. She don't have to be T2 though. All right, moving on. We got Amadeus Cho. Amadeus Cho is highly recommended. But before we get into that, everybody should be getting a bio pack. Make sure you get that bio pack. That's something I have to also recommend if you're going to be talking about good characters and farming, and get that bio pack because it introduces you to every character and it allows you to get any character you want. Now moving on to Cho. Cho was able to be farmed in the Village Siege a while ago, and then it was pretty cool. I took it upon myself to get his uniform and to level it up because I felt like it's too beneficial for the character to not do it. Too beneficial. I took him to tier 2 because I like him, and I'm more comfortable with taking characters to tier 2. That's how it works better for me. But he doesn't have to be. The damage is still ridiculous with him at tier 1. So Amadeus Cho is definitely a good character to get if you don't know who to farm for. We got Luke to the Cage, man. The iconic Luke Cage. Shout out to everything that's going on with Luke Cage right now in Marvel and on Netflix. But in this game, Future Fight, he's pretty good. He's all right. He's all right. He has what I like to call utility leadership with this 100% chance to be immune to physical damage. We need a lot more of those in the game. Now we have Lash. Now Lash is an underwhelming character. He is the complete opposite of Amadeus Cho. Amadeus Cho he has big percentages on his skills, cranks out a lot of damage, doesn't need to be T2. His uniform makes him a beast. As for Lash, nothing can help Lash but his T2. Lash has to be tier 2. All his skills have very low percentages. but he does have a high energy attack stat, and he does have an energy attack leadership. So that's kind of crazy. But he needs that. But if you're looking for another villain, go for Lash. You know what I'm saying? Go for Lash. He can easily be farmed in the Chaos Token shop. Words. You don't have to stress him out. Moving on to my man Punisher. Punisher, we probably should do a whole video on Punisher because Punisher is now a character to be, you know, scared of. Definitely. He's definitely a very good character now with this new uniform. Now I like the noir uniform. That was that held it down for me for a while, but it didn't do anything to the character. It just made him look cooler. Right. But this one actually gives him two iframes, so one full and one partial. And if you could get like 50% skill cooldown, you could perpetually be in iframe mode, give or take a second or two. You know. So I think this uniform, he needs his uniform, but he doesn't need to be T2. But he definitely needs his uniform, and it brings him up to that level that he should be because he's Punisher. He's the Punisher. The Punisher basically can't die. Nothing could hurt this guy. You know what I'm saying? So he just keeps coming back for more and keeps dishing out even more. So he's pretty good now with that uniform. He was in a bad place. Moving on to Doc Ock, my man Doc Ock. Gotta love him, man. Gotta love Doc Ock. I mean, well, Spidock, as we like to call him. The webs. All I have to say is the webs. That's it. He's pretty cool with his regular uniform. He's cool. He got some cool moves. But you can't go wrong with the iframes and webs. I mean, if Doctor Strange could have iframes and webs, they probably would have gave it to him because that kind of trumps everything in the game. It should be stronger, but that's neither here nor there. Let's get to the honorable mentions. We got Ant-Man, the first T2 I ever had. I actually paid the $80 for the Mega T2 ticket when they first released the tier 2s. And that was at a time where getting Ant-Man bios was impossible. There was no way to get Ant-Man bios. So, getting him to T2 would have been like trying to take Loki to 6-star. And we, prior to that, we all know how hard it was to get Loki to 6-star, even though, because those riffs just was crazy back in the day. But anyway, Ant-Man is a pretty good character. Now, he's a low tier now, but this was actually meta. His tier 2 passive was meta at one point. So, and he helps you learn the patterns of world bosses. That's how I learned how to kill all the world bosses, because he can't get hit, and I could just run around and just see what they do. And you can farm him in the Chaos Token shop. So you don't got to worry about that. Moving on to Crystal, one of the newer characters from one of the newer patches. So her kit definitely reflects that she's a newer character. If you look at her kit, she has a lot going on. Physical, and she's an energy damage dealing character. A whole lot of elements. This top skill, right? This number one skill has it has like a guard break, which should be a stun or a snare. The way it just traps the enemy, but she's very strong. And then she has, once again, moving back to these attack leaderships, people. You have to get those characters with those attack leaderships. It's necessary. 1,000%. Now this is kind of a personal favorite. Volstagg. I think Volstagg is just an impressive character. He has a very cool kit. I like his tier 2. It's kind of situational. It's not meta, but I think you can use it. I think it could be good. And he has the old defense, 24% when maxed out. Dormammu has that, so maybe he is meta. I don't know. I'm joking with you guys. But anyway, he's just a cool character though. He's kind of all these characters are not low tier in the sense that they're weak, but they're low tier in the sense that you probably wouldn't really farm for these guys unless you were done getting all the top dogs. You know what I mean? Now, if I could recommend a paywall character to get, I would have to recommend Riri Williams, aka Ironheart. She's just her kit is unmatched, man. Unmatched. You know, the only thing she would have needed was like a all attack buff like Amadeus Cho in here somewhere, and then that just would have set it off. This girl right here, this character is 100% a good character. Now, unfortunately, she's not a low tier character at all, but in her given class, unfortunately, she has a lot of big guys in there, and she doesn't fall short, but her damage, it's just her damage doesn't top the top dogs, without a little extra help. Like I out DPS Doctor Strange's and co-op and all that all the time. I could play. I could take out Thanos with her with no strikers, no really no bonuses, nothing. So she's really a good character. You just gotta put some tender love and care in her. Great character though. If I had to say, if you're gonna pay for a character, good character. And Black Order, I would have to say, if you want a BO character, which you want to get, you're not too sure. You already got Thanos, you already got Corvus, you already got. Go for this guy. Go for this guy right here. He's kind of tanky. He's a tanky character, and his damage is nuts. I mean, I don't have any of his skills maxed or even leveled, and this guy's nuts. I mean, 13 gear, and I'm able to do a floor 16 with him every time, or the 22 with the Modoc and Shadowland. That I definitely am able to do that with him. I hope this helped you out, and we'll see you later.